Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. For today's video, I thought I would talk about something that I should have clarified a long time ago. I actually don't remember if I clarified it or not, so that's what we're gonna do today. And I realized that I might not have because I was talking to a friend and he thought that you had to do this thing. So what is this thing? Well, if you are blind and you live in a rural area and you live in Missouri, because I don't know of anywhere else where you can do this, I'm sure there's like other states that make this possible, you can own a car and you can hire a driver to drive you places, and how the driver gets paid is per mile. So, if you are driven 7 miles, the driver will write down on the time log that they drove you 7 miles and they will get paid however many cents, let's say 70 cents per mile. So, for 7 miles, they get paid 70 cents per mile. But I want to say again, they have to write it down. You don't keep up with the mileage. You have to have a car that tells you how many miles you've driven, or the person driving you has driven, because they have to know how far you've traveled. But the blind person, you, me, doesn't have to keep up with the time logs. So that's one of the things that I wanted to address. And the other one is maintenance. Apparently there are people who think that cars cost a lot of yearly maintenance, and they don't. Like, if you take care of the little things before it goes bad, it's not going to cost you a ton of money. And the other thing is knowing where you can get stuff for cheap. So one of the things that you need to take care of, and that's every 3,000 miles, they usually tell you to do it once a year, but if you don't drive 3,000 miles in a year, then you don't have to worry about it, is your oil. So every 3,000 miles, you should get your oil changed. And the other thing that they think that you have to do every day is to put gas in a car. You do not have to do that every day, especially if you have a car that has really good mileage. Now, if you didn't fill your car all the way up to the full mark, look at me talking mechanical stuff like I know what I'm doing, and in reality it was my dad, because we had this whole thing as a conversation. But anyway, if you fill it up to the full mark and you have a car with really good gas mileage, you do not have to put gas in your car every day. In fact, my car has sat outside for entire weeks, multiple weeks, without anyone going out and turning it on and driving it and doing anything to it. So the biggest thing is to find a cheap place where you can do oil changes. In Missouri, for the most part, Walmart is pretty cheap on oil changes. I don't know why that is. There are also online websites where you can order car parts for pretty cheap, and if you can find a mechanic that will let you order the parts and bring them in, and then they can put them on, that will cost you a lot less also. Like, you would only have to pay the mechanic's fee, and like I said, there's not really much that you have to do to a car. If you don't live on a dirt road, you don't have to wash your car all the time. We used to live on a dirt road, and my mom used to have to take her car to the car wash like once a week or something and wash it because it was just so nasty. But other than that, there's not really any maintenance wrong with your car. If something is wrong with your car's engine or whatever, the check engine light will come on and you just take it to your mechanic and you'd be like, there's something wrong with my car. Or if you are mechanically inclined, because there are blind people who are mechanically inclined, they are mechanics, they do exist, you can figure out what's wrong with your own car. And you don't have to take your car anywhere, which means that you can go online to Rock Auto or some of these other car places, and you can get car parts for cheap, and you can put them on yourself. So there's that also. But again, if you get a really good car and you don't get a lemon, we've talked about this before, a lemon is a really, really bad car that I would get rid of immediately. But if you don't get a lemon, you don't have to do anything to your car. Anything. That does it for today's video. If you have any questions about cars, put them, not like the mechanics of cars, because mechanics is not me, but like as far as like what my dad told me about maintaining a car, because we had extensive conversations about this, because he kind of knew that I was going to be in this situation, and he wanted to be like, here's what you do. So if you have any kind of comments like that, if you think I need to clarify something, let me know down in the comments below. Subscribe to this video if you're brand new. Don't forget to ring that notification bell, like my Facebook page, and definitely follow me on Twitter. Both of these pages are Steph on YouTube 1. Be sure and follow me on Labrie. I think that is changing to Odyssey, and I really need to change that on my YouTube page. I just haven't. My personal Twitter is Steffi2010. You can follow me on there also. All those links are on my YouTube page below the About section. My email is steffionyouTube@gmail.com. It is in the About section. Feel free to email me. You can also find everything I just mentioned down in the description below. And I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye, guys.